It's 100 BCE. You enter the world gasping for air, your first cries echoing through a modest patrician household in Rome. Outside these walls, Rome is a city of ambition, intrigue, and violence, an empire expanding rapidly, devouring everything in its path. Your name is Gaius Julius Caesar, and whether you like it or not, history is already sharpening its knives. Your family, the Julii, claim descent from Venus herself. An impressive lineage, but unfortunately, your actual wealth and power don't quite match the family myth. While you're born noble, you're far from wealthy. Early on, you learn that a famous name means little if your pockets aren't heavy enough to support it. You're forced to navigate an empire where reputation is everything, but ambition can cost your life. Your earliest memories involve harsh discipline, endless lessons, and political lectures from stern-faced tutors. While other children play carefree games, your childhood is dominated by discussions about the Senate, alliances, and rival families. By the time you're 5, you're fluent in Latin and Greek, drilled relentlessly in rhetoric, logic, and public speaking. These skills aren't mere academic exercises, they're survival tools. One careless word could lead to disgrace, exile, or even death. Rome itself is dangerous. Politicians vie viciously for power. Assassinations, riots, and conspiracies are common, almost routine. Your own family is no exception. Your uncle, Gaius Marius, is a legendary general whose military reforms shape Rome's future, but his bitter feud with Lucius Cornelius Sulla splits Rome into violent factions. You're only a boy, yet you witness firsthand the devastating effects of these rivalries. Your uncle's fall from grace is swift, brutal, and merciless, a brutal lesson you never forget. When you're 15, your life changes forever. Your father dies suddenly, leaving you as head of the family. Overnight, responsibility crushes you. You're expected to manage family affairs, arrange your sister's marriage, and defend the fragile family honor, all while navigating Rome's dangerous political waters. No pressure, right? To solidify your family's political alliances, you marry Cornelia, daughter of an influential politician allied with your uncle's faction. She's beautiful, intelligent, and politically useful, your first real taste of political strategy disguised as love. It's a good match, but it brings you dangerously close to the flames of Sulla's fury. When Sulla finally seizes power, he targets everyone connected to Marius, including you. He demands you divorce Cornelia immediately, hoping to weaken his political rivals. You refuse, standing defiantly against Rome's most feared leader. Your youthful stubbornness nearly costs you your life. You're stripped of your inheritance, your priesthood, and forced to flee Rome, hiding from Sulla's assassins. The message is clear: Rome is merciless. To survive, you must be equally ruthless. While in exile, you join the army, your first taste of military life. You're a quick learner, charismatic and cunning, quickly impressing fellow soldiers and officers alike. You're not content to remain just another soldier, you dream of commanding legions, reshaping Rome's future. Every battle strengthens your resolve, each victory fueling your ambition. After Sulla's death, you return to Rome cautiously, hoping to rebuild your family's fortunes. But your financial situation is dire. Your family's estate is nearly bankrupt, forcing you into massive debt to maintain appearances. To escape these burdens, you set sail for Rhodes, determined to study under the great Greek orators. On the journey, pirates capture your ship, another cruel twist of fate. The pirates demand a hefty ransom, 20 talents of silver. You're insulted, insisting they ask for 50 talents instead. They laugh, admiring your audacity, but you're deadly serious. You spend weeks captive, treating your kidnappers like inferiors, promising them that once free, you'll return to crucify them. They find you amusing. Big mistake. When your ransom arrives and you're released, you immediately raise a small fleet, hunt down the pirates, and deliver on your grim promise. True to your word, you crucify every one of them, though in a twisted act of mercy, you slit their throats first. Rome takes notice. Caesar is not a man to trifle with. Returning to Rome, you throw yourself fully into politics. Your debts spiral, forcing you deeper into alliances with powerful yet dangerous men. You court public favor relentlessly, staging extravagant games, hosting lavish feasts, and tirelessly charming Rome's masses. You master the art of appearing generous and magnanimous, masking ruthless ambition behind a genial smile. Your popularity rises, but so do your enemies. By age 31, you're climbing the political ladder rapidly. Elected Pontifex Maximus, Rome's highest priest, you control religious affairs, a powerful stepping stone toward political dominance. Your debts are astronomical, but power is your only currency now. You leverage every alliance, charm every rival, crush every opponent. Yet, the Senate remains wary. They sense danger in your charisma, ambition in your charm. They're not wrong. When the Catiline conspiracy, a plot to overthrow the Republic, erupts, you face your first significant crisis. Catiline's conspirators are captured and sentenced to death without trial. In the Senate, you boldly argue against this, championing mercy, justice, and constitutional law. Many admire your courage, but others see only cynical manipulation, accusing you of being soft on traitors. Your reputation teeters precariously, but you skillfully survive. In 61 BCE, at age 39, you're appointed governor of Hispania, finally gaining command of legions. On the battlefield, you thrive. You conquer rebellious tribes swiftly, enriching Rome and yourself with wealth and glory. Your debts vanish, replaced by vast riches plundered from Spain's conquered territories. Rome applauds your victories, but behind the cheers, rivals grind their teeth, plotting your downfall. Returning to Rome, your eyes are now set on the highest prize, the consulship. You forge an alliance with two powerful men, Pompey the Great, Rome's greatest general, and Crassus, Rome's wealthiest citizen. Together, you form the infamous triumvirate, controlling Rome's politics entirely. Your rise seems unstoppable, but behind this facade of unity lies bitter rivalry, jealousy, and looming betrayal. At age 41, you're finally elected consul. You push through controversial reforms, using populist rhetoric to rally citizens against conservative senators. Tensions rise dangerously, Rome teetering on civil war. To avoid direct confrontation, your enemies send you away, granting command of Gaul far from Rome. They believe they're exiling you, neutralizing your influence. It couldn't be more wrong. Gaul will be your greatest conquest and your deadliest gamble yet. This was your turbulent rise from birth to political dominance as Julius Caesar. It's 58 BCE. You stand at the edge of the known world, Gaul, a wild, untamed region filled with fierce warriors, dense forests, towering mountains, and endless potential. Rome sees Gaul as a distant backwater, a dangerous frontier barely worth the trouble. But you see something else, your future. Gaul is your ticket to immortal glory or a brutal grave. Your new position, proconsul of Gaul, gives you command over 4 legions, approximately 20,000 battle-hardened Roman soldiers, but these men barely know you. Trust, respect, and loyalty must be earned in blood and victory. You must quickly prove you're more than just another ambitious politician playing soldier. The tribes of Gaul won't wait for you to learn. They're sharpening their swords already. Your first challenge comes immediately. The Helvetii, a massive tribe numbering hundreds of thousands, begin migrating, threatening Roman borders. It's your chance. You rapidly mobilize your legions, intercepting them decisively at the Rhone River. Negotiations stall. Diplomacy fails. War erupts, exactly what you wanted. You crush the Helvetii in a brutal campaign, scattering survivors, capturing thousands. Your troops taste their first victory under your leadership. They begin respecting your courage, tactical genius, and willingness to fight alongside them. Quickly, you cement your growing legend. You next face Ariovistus, a Germanic king whose forces threaten Gaul. Your legions tremble at stories of Germanic warriors' brutality. They're uneasy, doubting your leadership, but you stride confidently into camp, rallying troops with stirring speeches, reminding them of Rome's unstoppable destiny. Confidence restored, they march eagerly into battle, annihilating Ariovistus's forces decisively. Now your soldiers don't just respect you, they revere you. Rome is beginning to whisper your name with awe. But Gaul won't yield easily. Tribes constantly rebel, testing your patience and leadership. You respond brutally, burning villages, enslaving thousands, executing leaders publicly. Your message is clear: defiance equals annihilation. Gaul learns swiftly the price of resistance. Yet your harsh tactics cause resentment. Tribal hatred simmers beneath forced loyalty, ready to explode violently. Still, you continue marching forward relentlessly, conquering territory after territory. Your legions swell with fresh recruits, hungry for plunder and glory. Victories pile up against the Belgae, the Nervii, the Veneti. Each campaign expands Rome's dominion, enriches your soldiers, and cements your legend further. Yet with every conquest, your enemies multiply, waiting quietly for revenge. Life in Gaul is brutally difficult. Campaigning means harsh winters, starvation, disease, and constant ambushes. You share your soldiers' hardships, sleeping on frozen ground, marching endless miles, fighting in mud, rain, snow. They watch you closely, noting your unwavering resolve, tireless energy, and utter fearlessness. They love you, willing to die without hesitation for their general, their Caesar. Yet behind your outward bravery hides deep loneliness. Friends and family are far away, intrigues festering in Rome without you. Letters from home carry disturbing news. Your daughter Julia, wife to Pompey, has died. She was the binding force between your uneasy alliance with Pompey and Crassus. With Julia gone, that bond weakens dangerously. You're painfully aware that your political allies may soon become deadly enemies. You find comfort in writing. Every night in your tent, exhausted from battle, you chronicle your campaigns meticulously, your famous commentaries on the Gallic War. This isn't mere vanity, it's propaganda cleverly designed to bolster your reputation in Rome. You describe battles vividly, highlighting your tactical genius, your soldiers' bravery, your triumphs against overwhelming odds. Citizens back home devour your writings, seeing you as a legendary hero, the embodiment of Rome itself. After 6 brutal years in Gaul, you face your greatest test yet, Vercingetorix. A charismatic tribal leader, he unites Gaul's fragmented tribes into a massive rebellion against Rome. His forces number hundreds of thousands, determined to destroy your legions and expel Rome forever. It's your darkest hour, your greatest crisis, and your ultimate opportunity for immortal glory. Vercingetorix adopts brutal scorched earth tactics, burning villages, fields, and supplies to deny your armies food. Starvation threatens your troops daily. Morale plummets. Soldiers grumble, questioning your leadership openly. But you refuse to retreat, knowing defeat would destroy your legacy permanently. Desperation breeds ruthless resolve. You decide on a daring gamble, siege Alesia, Vercingetorix's stronghold, trapping him inside. But there's a catch. While laying siege, another massive Gallic army approaches behind your lines, threatening to trap you in turn. You must simultaneously defend against this external force while maintaining your siege, an impossible position. Yet you never falter, never doubt. Calmly, methodically, you construct double fortifications, defensive walls, both inward and outward, a masterstroke of engineering and tactical brilliance. The Battle of Alesia is brutal, chaotic, relentless. For days, you fend off constant attacks from both sides. Soldiers fight desperately, often without sleep or food. Casualties mount alarmingly. Yet your calm presence inspires unbreakable resolve. Troops rally repeatedly, driven by loyalty and your fearless example. Eventually, enemy attacks falter, exhausted by your defense's stubborn resistance. Finally, starving and broken, Vercingetorix surrenders dramatically, throwing himself at your feet. Rome's greatest enemy kneels before you, broken and defeated. Gaul is yours, conquered utterly, decisively, forever. Your legions roar triumphantly, chanting your name endlessly. It's your greatest victory, the pinnacle of military glory. Yet privately, exhaustion overwhelms you. Gaul's conquest cost immense suffering, hundreds of thousands dead, villages annihilated, lives destroyed. You've brought Rome wealth, territory, glory, but at what moral price? Those questions haunt your nights, disturbing your sleep profoundly. Rome itself grows nervous. Your popularity is dangerous, your army fiercely loyal solely to you. Senators whisper anxiously, Caesar has become too powerful, too loved. They begin plotting your downfall secretly. Pompey, once your friend, increasingly jealous, views you suspiciously. Crassus, another ally, dies tragically in Parthia, eliminating another stabilizing force. As you prepare to return home, Rome braces itself nervously, sensing imminent conflict. You're victorious, wealthy, beloved, and dangerously powerful. Your enemies gather quietly, knives hidden behind welcoming smiles. The Rubicon River stands before you, marking Rome's boundary. Cross it, and civil war is inevitable. Yet hesitation isn't your nature. You know your destiny demands crossing that fateful river, whatever the cost. This was your ruthless conquest of Gaul, your legendary victories, and the bloody price you paid for immortal glory as Julius Caesar. The Rubicon River stands calmly before you. It's not wide, barely more than a gentle stream, yet it's the most dangerous boundary you've ever faced. On one side, you're the celebrated conqueror of Gaul, hero to thousands of battle-hardened soldiers. On the other side lies Rome, your home, your destiny, and your most dangerous enemy yet. You understand clearly, once you cross, there's no turning back. The year is 49 BCE, and Rome is tense. Senators whisper anxiously, fearing your growing popularity and power. Pompey, your former ally and now bitter rival, has been swayed against you. He orders you to disband your legions and return to Rome as a private citizen, stripped of your command, vulnerable and defenseless. It's a carefully laid trap. Comply, and your enemies destroy you politically. Refuse, and you're branded a traitor, igniting civil war. But submission was never your style. You've survived assassins, pirates, and barbarian hordes. You're not about to be undone by politicians. Your soldiers trust you implicitly, loyal to Caesar, not Rome. They've suffered beside you, bled for you, and share your ambitions. You know their hearts. They're ready to follow wherever you lead. Yet doubt nags at you. Civil war will tear Rome apart, pitting friends against friends, brothers against brothers. Blood will flow in Roman streets because of your choice. Is the cost too great? You stare into the river, haunted by visions of Rome's potential ruin. Then clarity returns. Your enemies force this moment, not you. Your hand rests on your horse's mane, steadying yourself. You know hesitation will mean defeat and possibly death. Summoning courage, you deliver words soon to echo through history. The die is cast. With those simple words, you spur your horse forward, plunging into history. Your troops cheer wildly, following without hesitation. Civil war has begun. Your march toward Rome is swift, decisive. Town after town surrenders without resistance, citizens greeting you warmly. Pompey and his supporters flee the capital in panic, retreating southward, hoping to regroup. You enter Rome triumphantly, yet not as a conqueror. You're careful to appear merciful, restrained, magnanimous. No executions, no looting, only promises of reform and justice. Citizens love you for this. Your reputation soars higher. Yet Pompey still controls powerful legions loyal to the Senate. He escapes across the sea to Greece, preparing massive forces to crush your rebellion. You must pursue swiftly, decisively, or risk losing momentum. With limited resources and exhausted troops, you follow boldly, gambling everything once more. The war spreads across the Mediterranean, Spain, Greece, Egypt, Africa. Battles rage fiercely, each victory costly, each defeat dangerous. Your armies face starvation, storms, desert heat, and endless hardship. Yet your charismatic leadership inspires legendary devotion. Soldiers fight desperately, buoyed by your relentless determination, your tactical genius, your willingness to share their suffering. You clash decisively with Pompey at Pharsalus in Greece, a pivotal moment. Outnumbered and weakened by long campaigns, you rely on cunning and discipline. The battle is brutal, chaotic, ferocious, yet through superior strategy and iron resolve, you triumph spectacularly. Pompey flees, utterly defeated, his army shattered. You stand victorious once again, now Rome's uncontested ruler in all but name. Pompey escapes to Egypt, hoping for sanctuary. Instead, Egyptian rulers murder him brutally, presenting his severed head as a grotesque gift. When the gruesome sight is presented to you, you're disgusted. Pompey was your rival, but also a Roman, a friend turned enemy, deserving a dignified fate. Rage burns within you, solidifying your resolve to restore order and dignity to a fractured world. In Egypt, you intervene decisively. A chaotic dynastic struggle grips the kingdom, young Ptolemy XIII fighting his sister Cleopatra VII for the throne. Cleopatra, ambitious and intelligent, approaches you cleverly, hidden in a rug delivered directly to your chambers. Impressed by her audacity, intellect, and charm, you side with her, igniting yet another conflict, the Siege of Alexandria. Months of brutal urban warfare follow. Fires rage, battles erupt through city streets. At one point, you're nearly killed, narrowly escaping danger when your own ships catch fire. Yet your calmness under pressure never wavers. Ultimately, you prevail, installing Cleopatra as Egypt's ruler. She becomes your lover, bearing your child, Caesarion. Your influence now spans Rome and Egypt, linking two powerful civilizations under your name. But the war isn't finished. Pompey's remaining allies regroup in Africa and Spain, continuing resistance stubbornly. Battles like Thapsus and Munda test your legions severely. Brutal fighting leaves thousands dead, testing even your resolve. Yet your tactical brilliance again delivers victory. With each triumph, your power becomes absolute, your enemies fewer. Finally, in 45 BCE, the civil war ends. Rome lies exhausted, bloodied, desperate for stability. You return triumphantly, dictator for life, absolute ruler. Citizens cheer enthusiastically, yet behind celebrations lurk hidden resentment, bitterness, envy. Senators begrudge your power, fearing the republic's end. You're painfully aware Rome's peace is fragile, built atop simmering resentments. You rule decisively, swiftly reforming government, taxes, and infrastructure. Your reforms greatly benefit ordinary citizens, yet earn powerful enemies. Senators see you as a threat, too popular, too powerful, dangerously close to becoming king. Rumors spread of your ambition, whispers warning of tyranny. You dismiss these threats outwardly, yet privately, unease grows. Warnings arrive frequently, plots to assassinate you uncovered regularly, friends urge caution, bodyguards accompany you constantly. Yet pride dismisses danger. You're Julius Caesar, conqueror of Gaul, victor of civil war, master of Rome itself. You refuse to live in fear, determined to face whatever fate awaits boldly. But enemies gather silently, conspirators sharpening daggers in darkness. You sense danger, yet stubborn pride refuses retreat. March 15th, 44 BCE, the Ides of March, draws near, Rome's fateful date with destiny. A prophecy warns clearly, beware the Ides of March, yet arrogance dismisses superstition foolishly. Unknowingly, you walk steadily toward betrayal, assassination, and tragedy. History waits breathlessly, watching your final steps toward destiny. This was your fateful choice, crossing the Rubicon, plunging Rome into civil war, forging your legend, and sealing your tragic fate as Julius Caesar. March 15th, 44 BCE, the Ides of March. Dawn breaks over Rome, pale sunlight illuminating marble streets and towering columns. The city awakens, unaware this day will forever change history. You, Julius Caesar, dictator for life, have achieved everything: wealth, fame, unmatched power. Yet today, all that might vanish in an instant. Despite repeated warnings, you ignore superstition. A seer once urged caution, famously telling you to beware the Ides of March. Even your wife Calpurnia dreams of your death, begging you to remain home. But pride clouds your judgment. You refuse to appear fearful, determined to demonstrate strength by attending the Senate as usual. After all, Rome must see you're unafraid, invincible. That morning, unease grips Rome. Senators gather nervously, exchanging furtive glances, speaking quietly. Beneath the surface of respect hides jealousy, resentment, and fear of your growing power. They worry you seek monarchy, ending Rome's beloved republic permanently. Rumors spread swiftly, whispers of conspiracy trickling through marble halls. You step confidently from your home, greeting citizens warmly, masking lingering unease. Your bodyguards accompany you initially, yet halfway to the Senate, you dismiss them, declaring confidently, Rome needs no bodyguards to protect Caesar. It's a reckless decision, driven by pride, a decision you'll regret forever. Entering Pompey's theater, temporary home of the Senate, you greet senators cheerfully, unaware betrayal hides behind friendly smiles. They rise respectfully, yet tension fills the room palpably. You're guided toward your usual seat, placed before a statue of Pompey, your former ally turned enemy, a haunting irony you fail to notice. A senator, Tullius Cimber, approaches, petitioning clemency for his brother. Politely, you refuse. Suddenly, senators crowd closely, suffocatingly. Confused, annoyed, you turn sharply. What violence is this? Your heart pounds anxiously. Before you can react, hand seize your toga roughly, pulling violently. A sharp blade pierces deeply into your flesh, pain explodes instantly, disbelief overwhelming you. You stagger, stunned, turning desperately. Senators you trusted, friends, allies, men you elevated personally, stand holding bloody daggers, eyes blazing with hatred. A nightmare unfolding before you. More blades plunge repeatedly into your body, one after another, merciless, relentless. You fight desperately, courageously, yet betrayal crushes your spirit utterly. Among attackers, you glimpse Brutus, your protégé, trusted confidant, almost a son to you. His blade plunges mercilessly, your heart shatters emotionally, betrayal worse than physical pain. Through blood-soaked lips, you utter famously, "Et tu, Brute? Even you, Brutus?" Strength drains rapidly. Legs buckle beneath you, body collapsing heavily onto cold marble. Senators scatter hurriedly, fear overcoming hatred. Silence engulfs the chamber eerily, broken only by your ragged breathing and trickling blood-staining polished floors. Life ebbs swiftly, memories flooding painfully, conquests, triumphs, friends, lovers, regrets. Rome's greatest leader lies dying, abandoned, betrayed cruelly. Strength fades, darkness descends inexorably. Your final breath escapes painfully. Julius Caesar, conqueror of Gaul, victor of civil war, dictator of Rome, dies alone on the Senate floor, a brutal, humiliating end. Outside, panic grips Rome. News spreads rapidly, Caesar assassinated, Rome plunged into chaos. Crowds gather fearfully, anger growing dangerously. Your murderers hope to restore republic freedoms. Instead, civil unrest erupts violently, plunging Rome into deeper crisis. Your corpse lies unattended briefly, blood pooling, testament to betrayal's cost. Mark Antony, loyal friend and lieutenant, takes charge quickly. Grief-stricken yet politically shrewd, he displays your bloody toga dramatically during a public funeral. His fiery oration inflames crowds passionately, turning public opinion sharply against assassins. Rome demands revenge furiously, your killers flee swiftly, hunted viciously. Even dead, your influence remains unmatched. Yet power struggles emerge swiftly. Antony vies aggressively with young Octavian, your adopted heir, for control. Rome plunges deeper into turmoil, another civil war looming. Your death, intended to preserve Rome's republic, instead ignites violence, power struggles, further chaos. Rome suffers greatly, devastated by divisions your assassination unleashed tragically. Meanwhile, your funeral pyre burns brilliantly in Rome's forum, flames consuming your remains dramatically. Citizens weep openly, mourning deeply. Rome recognizes belatedly your greatness, mourning profoundly the tragic loss caused by short-sighted assassins. History remembers your death bitterly, as brutal betrayal destroying Rome's brightest hope for stability, peace, and greatness. But beyond grief lies profound reflection. Your assassination provides chilling warnings, dangers inherent in absolute power, tragic consequences when democracy falters, violence caused by political divisions unchecked. History studies your murder intently, analyzing betrayal's psychological complexities, political implications, profound costs to societies divided by hatred, fear, envy. Yet personally, your end remains deeply tragic. Despite immense power, wealth, accomplishments, you died betrayed by closest friends, abandoned cruelly in your final moments. Beneath ruthless ambition hid deep vulnerabilities, loneliness, insecurities, desires for respect, admiration, love never fully satisfied. Your assassination symbolizes tragically high personal cost ambition exacts, sacrificing relationships, morality, humanity itself for fleeting power, ultimately meaningless in death. Rome itself struggles profoundly afterward, torn apart by continued conflict your death ignited. Civil wars erupt repeatedly, ultimately leading Rome toward imperial monarchy, ironically. Your assassination, intended to protect republic freedoms, instead accelerated monarchy's rise inevitably. History observes bitterly this tragic irony, how assassins' misguided actions destroyed Rome's fragile democracy permanently. Yet, even centuries later, your death resonates powerfully. Societies worldwide study intensely your assassination's complexities, political, psychological, moral implications. Your life and death provide stark reminders of democracy's fragility, power's corrupting influence, profound human costs when ambition eclipses morality. Students learn vividly from your tragic fate critical lessons, importance of humility, moral integrity, democratic values, compassion. Your assassination, brutal and tragic, remains history's powerful cautionary tale. Julius Caesar, your violent death continues teaching humanity profound, timeless lessons, warnings about ambition's dangers, consequences of political division unchecked, importance democracy's preservation, necessity for leaders valuing morality above personal gain. This was your brutal, tragic assassination, the shocking betrayal ending your extraordinary life as Julius Caesar. Your assassination plunges Rome into an abyss. The republic your killers hope to save crumbles even faster, spiraling uncontrollably toward chaos, violence, and civil war. Rome's streets overflow with anger, grief, and confusion. Instead of freedom, your death leaves a power vacuum that ambitious men rush to fill. The consequences reverberate for generations. Initially, your assassins believe their deed heroic. Men like Brutus and Cassius imagine themselves saviors, having removed Rome's greatest threat to republican ideals. But they quickly realize their miscalculation. Rome sees not heroes but traitors. Fearful for their lives, conspirators flee the city, retreating into distant provinces, desperately gathering armies to resist inevitable reprisals. Mark Antony, your loyal lieutenant and closest friend, moves swiftly to seize control. Grief-stricken yet calculating, he masterfully uses your funeral to turn Rome's citizens against your murderers. Standing before massive crowds, Antony dramatically displays your bloodied toga, pointing out each stab wound, vividly describing your brutal betrayal. His eloquence inflames emotions, crowds riot violently, demanding justice for Caesar. Overnight, assassins become public enemies, hunted mercilessly by furious mobs. But Antony isn't alone in exploiting the chaos. Young Octavian, your adopted heir and grandnephew, barely 18, arrives in Rome quietly yet determinedly. Many underestimate him, seeing only an inexperienced youth. They're profoundly mistaken. Beneath Octavian's quiet exterior burns fierce ambition, political shrewdness rivaling your own. Quickly, he gathers loyal supporters, including veteran soldiers fiercely devoted to Caesar's memory. A complex rivalry develops swiftly between Antony and Octavian, each vying to fill your immense void. Both claim to represent your legacy, yet distrust deeply permeates their uneasy alliance. To avoid immediate conflict, they form a fragile triumvirate with Lepidus, another influential general, dividing Rome's vast territories among themselves temporarily. Yet beneath cooperation simmers bitter resentment, suspicion, and inevitable betrayal. The triumvirate's first priority, vengeance against your murderers. Armies mobilize swiftly, civil war again engulfing Roman territories. The climactic Battle of Philippi in 42 BCE sees Antony and Octavian decisively crush Brutus and Cassius, effectively avenging your assassination. Both conspirators commit suicide, unwilling to surrender alive. Yet their deaths bring little peace. Instead, Rome fractures further, torn apart by continuing power struggles, ambition, and revenge. Antony and Octavian's rivalry soon resurfaces dramatically. Antony consolidates power in Egypt alongside Cleopatra, your former lover, now Antony's partner politically and romantically. Together, they create an Eastern power bloc threatening Rome's stability. Octavian skillfully exploits Roman fears, portraying Antony as Cleopatra's puppet, corrupted by Egyptian luxury, betraying Rome's traditional values. Propaganda campaigns ignite public outrage, setting the stage for renewed civil war. The decisive conflict comes in 31 BCE at Actium, a massive naval battle pitting Octavian's forces against Antony and Cleopatra's combined fleet. Octavian triumphs spectacularly, shattering Antony's navy, destroying his political credibility permanently. Antony and Cleopatra retreat desperately to Egypt, defeated, humiliated, their dream of Eastern Empire collapsing catastrophically. In Egypt, tragedy unfolds swiftly. Antony, believing Cleopatra dead, commits suicide, ending his turbulent life violently. Cleopatra, captured by Octavian's forces, chooses dramatic suicide as well, refusing to parade through Rome as conquered prize. Octavian executes Caesarion, your biological son, by Cleopatra, removing permanently your last direct heir, a ruthless move securing Octavian's future as Rome's undisputed leader. Returning triumphantly to Rome, Octavian, now Caesar Augustus, ushers in a new era, the Roman Empire. Ironically, your assassin's attempt to preserve the Republic accelerated monarchy's inevitable rise. Augustus rules as emperor for decades, transforming Rome profoundly, politically, culturally, historically. Rome thrives, expands dramatically, experiencing unprecedented peace and prosperity known famously as Pax Romana. Yet beneath prosperity lies uncomfortable truth. Republican freedoms once treasured vanish permanently under imperial monarchy. Your assassination, intended to safeguard democracy, instead destroyed it decisively. Roman senators become mere puppets, political debates meaningless. Rome transitions permanently into absolute monarchy, directly resulting from chaos your death ignited tragically. Historically, consequences extend far beyond Rome. Your assassination profoundly impacts governance globally, becoming history's enduring cautionary tale. Political philosophers examine your life and death meticulously, exploring relationships between democracy, tyranny, freedom, ambition, power. Your murder illustrates starkly democracy's fragility, vulnerability when internal divisions, ambition, distrust prevail unchecked. Culturally, your death inspires countless artists, writers, dramatists worldwide. Shakespeare immortalizes your assassination dramatically, vividly portraying betrayal's psychological complexities, political intrigues, profound consequences. Your famous phrase, et tu, brute, symbolizes eternally betrayal's emotional devastation, trust shattered irrevocably. Art, literature, theater continuously reference your tragedy, illustrating vividly humanity's darkest capabilities, betrayal, ambition, cruelty. Psychologically, historians and experts analyze continuously your assassination's implications. Conspirators' motives fascinate deeply: ideological commitment, personal ambition, jealousy, fear driving betrayal. Your assassination reveals unsettling truths: ambition's destructive power, betrayal's psychological impacts, human capacity for cruelty hidden beneath civilization's thin veneer. Educationally, your assassination provides profound teaching opportunities globally. Students study intensely democracy's vulnerabilities, authoritarianism's dangers, necessity maintaining democratic institutions, free speech, human rights protections. Your story underscores vividly citizens' responsibilities, maintaining vigilance, engagement, compassion, humility, critical ingredients preserving democratic freedoms against authoritarian threats. Politically, your death profoundly reshapes governance worldwide. Leaders, scholars, activists reference continuously your assassination's consequences: dangers, unchecked power, importance, institutional safeguards, transparency, accountability. Democracies worldwide strengthen safeguards explicitly to prevent tragedies like yours recurring. Your legacy profoundly impacts global governance, inspiring enduring commitments, protecting freedoms, democracy, human dignity. Ultimately, Julius Caesar, your assassination's consequences reverberate profoundly through history, offering timeless lessons about ambition, power, betrayal, democracy's vulnerabilities, humanity's potential for both greatness and cruelty. Your life and death endure eternally as critical reminders about responsibility societies carry: maintaining democratic values, safeguarding human dignity, compassion, morality above ambition, ego, personal gain. Your story remains history's powerful cautionary tale, vividly illustrating democracy's fragility, dangers, ambition unchecked, importance, vigilance, preserving freedoms. Rome and humanity itself learn profound lessons from chaos. Your assassination unleashed tragically, committing globally toward more compassionate, responsible, democratic futures. This was your tragic legacy, the profound consequences Rome suffered after your assassination, shaping humanity profoundly as Julius Caesar. Throughout your turbulent life, filled with military triumphs, political upheaval, and dramatic victories, you've always projected confidence and charisma. Yet beneath the armor of ambition and power lay profound loneliness, complicated relationships, and deep emotional struggles. Your personal life, often overshadowed by your public accomplishments, reveals a deeply human story of ambition intertwined with isolation, power interwoven with profound solitude. Your earliest family relationships shaped your emotional life profoundly. Born into a noble yet financially modest family, you learned early that love and affection often took second place to ambition and political necessity. Your father died when you were young, forcing you into early responsibility, robbing you of a typical childhood. Relationships with your mother, Aurelia, and your aunt, Julia, were sources of stability, but even these were complicated, influenced by political calculations and social expectations more than genuine emotional connection. Your first marriage to Cornelia, daughter of your uncle's political ally, was both politically strategic and personally significant. While arranged initially for political reasons, genuine affection developed between you. Cornelia stood loyally by your side, even when Sulla, Rome's ruthless dictator, demanded your divorce. You bravely refused, risking death to protect your marriage, a rare moment where personal feelings outweighed political expediency. Her death years later devastated you deeply, marking the first profound emotional loss of your adult life. Following Cornelia's passing, your subsequent marriages, first to Pompeia, then to Calpurnia, highlighted complicated intersections between your political ambitions and personal life. Your marriage to Pompeia ended abruptly after scandal involving the Bona Dea rites. Though she herself was innocent, you divorced her swiftly, famously declaring, "Caesar's wife must be above suspicion." It wasn't lack of affection, but political necessity driving this decision, a recurring theme illustrating tensions between your private desires and public ambitions. Your final marriage to Calpurnia was marked by respect and affection, yet your relentless ambition and endless campaigns frequently separated you. While Calpurnia sincerely loved and cared for you, she often felt overshadowed by your political pursuits, constantly aware your heart belonged first to Rome, secondarily to any person. Her vivid premonitions of your assassination on the Ides of March illustrated her genuine care, yet your tragic dismissal of her warnings demonstrated your stubborn pride, political determination overriding even love and intimacy. Yet perhaps your most famous and complicated relationship was with Cleopatra, Egypt's brilliant, charismatic queen. Your affair with Cleopatra wasn't merely romantic, it was deeply political, strategic, filled with mutual admiration and calculated ambition. Initially drawn to Cleopatra's intelligence, charm, and political genius, you formed a powerful alliance cementing Roman-Egyptian relations. She bore your son Caesarion, symbolizing potential dynastic ambitions stretching beyond Rome's traditional borders. But Cleopatra was more than just an ally, she profoundly impacted your emotional world. Historians suggest genuine affection existed between you, despite political calculations underlying your relationship. Cleopatra's wit, intelligence, and sophistication fascinated you deeply, offering rare intellectual and emotional connection. Yet ultimately, your duty to Rome outweighed personal desires. Returning to Rome, you largely left Cleopatra behind, yet memories lingered profoundly, impacting your decisions, emotions, dreams until your final days. Your relationships with friends and political allies, particularly Pompey and Brutus, also reveal profound emotional complexities underlying your ambitious persona. Your early alliance and friendship with Pompey initially appeared genuine, rooted in mutual respect and political necessity. Your beloved daughter Julia married Pompey, cementing this bond personally and politically. Yet Julia's tragic early death removed crucial emotional ties, exposing deep fractures beneath political alliances. Your subsequent civil war against Pompey wasn't merely political, it represented deep emotional wounds, betrayal, shattered friendships transforming dramatically into bitter rivalry and profound personal loss. Brutus, famously remembered as your assassin, began as a protege, friend, almost surrogate son, your affection genuine, profound. You trusted him implicitly, mentoring him politically, emotionally, personally, investing deeply in his success. His ultimate betrayal, stabbing you mercilessly alongside fellow conspirators, devastated you emotionally far beyond physical pain. Your famous dying words, et tu, Brute, symbolize not merely political betrayal, but profound emotional devastation, shattering trust painfully built over years. Even among loyal followers, your personal connections were complicated. Mark Antony, fiercely loyal politically, maintained deep affection and admiration, yet your relationship involved tensions, disagreements, subtle competition beneath surface camaraderie. Antony's later relationship with Cleopatra after your death symbolized personal complexity, emotions intertwined with political calculations, highlighting persistent tensions between love, ambition, loyalty, and betrayal haunting your life and relationships continually. Throughout your extraordinary life, profound loneliness accompanied relentless ambition. Despite vast crowds cheering your triumphs, immense popularity among citizens, fierce devotion from soldiers, genuine personal intimacy often eluded you. Constant pressures of leadership, endless political calculations, frequent betrayals, emotional disappointments gradually isolated you emotionally. Though outwardly charismatic, confident, powerful, inwardly profound loneliness marked your emotional landscape profoundly, hidden carefully behind political strength. Historically, your personal relationships reveal deep psychological complexities beneath your political legend. Historians, psychologists, and literary scholars analyze your emotional struggles intensively, providing critical insights into personal costs ambition exacts. Your complicated relationships, familial, romantic, political, illustrate vividly how ambition, political necessity, emotional isolation intertwine destructively, personally and historically. Your life's psychological insights profoundly impact understandings of leadership, ambition, loneliness, emotional costs inherent in relentless pursuit of power. Ultimately, Julius Caesar, your personal life, filled with emotional complexities, profound loneliness, complicated relationships, offers profound reflections about humanity, ambition, power, emotional costs leaders endure. Your emotional struggles illustrate vividly dangers, ambition unchecked, importance balancing ambition with genuine human connection, compassion, morality. Your personal story remains a critical reminder that behind political legends exist profound emotional vulnerabilities, loneliness, humanity shared universally, regardless historical era or circumstances. Your personal legacy profoundly impacts society's understandings about emotional costs, ambition exacts, necessity balancing ambition, power with genuine emotional connection, compassion, humanity. Julius Caesar. Your personal life remains a critical reminder about humanity's shared emotional complexities, loneliness, vulnerability, genuine human connections, critical maintaining balanced, compassionate leadership throughout history. This was your deeply complex personal life, ambition intertwined profoundly with loneliness, complicated relationships, emotional struggles shaping your extraordinary journey as Julius Caesar. Your death marked the end of your life, but it was only the beginning of your eternal influence. The name Julius Caesar didn't merely pass into history, it echoed endlessly through cultures, languages, politics, art, literature, and even calendars. Your legacy proved far more enduring than your political rivals ever imagined, influencing humanity profoundly for millennia. Immediately following your assassination, Rome descended into chaos, but ironically, this chaos solidified your legend. Your murderers, hoping to extinguish your power, instead made you immortal. Your death transformed you from a political leader into a cultural symbol, a martyr whose legacy was endlessly debated, revered, feared, and remembered. Romans and later generations never stopped talking about Caesar. Politically, your assassination permanently altered Rome's trajectory. Your death triggered a brutal civil war, ending the Roman Republic and ushering in the Roman Empire under Augustus, your great-nephew and adopted heir. Rome's imperial era, inspired by your vision, dramatically reshaped Western civilization, influencing governance, law, infrastructure, and society for centuries. Modern concepts like centralized government, legal systems, and infrastructure networks owe profound debts to Rome's empire, direct consequences of your political legacy. Perhaps most famously, your name itself became a symbol of power. Future leaders, from Roman emperors like Augustus, Tiberius, Caligula, and Nero, all adopting the title Caesar, to medieval European monarchs claiming authority derived from Caesar, rendered as Kaiser in German, Tsar in Russian, invoked your name explicitly as ultimate authority. Your legacy thus profoundly impacted global politics, symbolizing absolute power, imperial authority, political legitimacy worldwide. Culturally, your legacy influenced art, literature, and drama profoundly. William Shakespeare's famous play Julius Caesar immortalized your assassination vividly, illustrating betrayal's psychological complexities, ambition's consequences, and political intrigues, fascinating audiences globally. Shakespeare's Caesar popularized phrases, "Beware the Ides of March," "Et tu, Brute," forever embedded into cultural consciousness, endlessly quoted symbolically regarding betrayal, danger, ambition. Countless novels, films, operas, paintings, explored your life's dramatic events, constantly reimagining Caesar's story across different eras, perspectives, cultural contexts. Your own writings, the commentaries on the Gallic War, remain literary masterpieces studied worldwide. Historians praise your clear prose, vivid descriptions, strategic insights into warfare, politics, and society. Military strategists still analyze your tactics carefully, studying leadership, morale, logistic strategies, informing modern military doctrine. Your literary influence extends beyond historical documents. Your writing directly impacted language evolution, contributing Latin phrases, idioms, vocabulary still used globally today. Perhaps surprisingly, even the calendar itself owes profound debts to your legacy. Your reforms to Rome's chaotic, inaccurate calendar created the Julian calendar, named explicitly after you, which remained the global standard for centuries. The modern Gregorian calendar, currently used worldwide, evolved directly from your calendar reforms. Even today, months like July explicitly honor your legacy, your name forever embedded into daily life, time itself defined profoundly by Caesar's reforms. Psychologically, your legacy profoundly influenced understandings about ambition, leadership, human nature. Historians, philosophers, psychologists continuously analyze your life and death, offering critical insights into leadership psychology, charisma, ambition, paranoia, betrayal, loneliness, consequences ambition exacts personally, societally, historically. Your example profoundly influences educational understandings about responsible leadership, dangers, unchecked ambition, critical importance, balancing ambition, morality, emotional intelligence, compassion. Educationally, your legacy profoundly shapes curricula worldwide. Students study your life's dramatic events, military conquests, political triumphs, assassination, historical impacts, understanding vividly ambition's consequences, democracy's vulnerabilities, authoritarianism's dangers. Educators emphasize your story's profound lessons, reinforcing critically democratic values, human rights, transparency, accountability, moral integrity necessary preserving democratic societies globally. Your legacy deeply impacts political philosophy discussions globally. Philosophers analyze continuously your life, assassination, political strategies, consequences ambition exacts societally, historically. Your example profoundly informs debates about political ethics, responsible governance, balancing ambition, morality, democratic values. Your legacy shapes political ideologies, informing democratic movements globally, reinforcing critically democratic protections against authoritarianism's inherent dangers. Even popular culture constantly references Caesar symbolically. Your assassination remains symbolic warning against ambition, betrayal, political division dangers in contemporary political rhetoric, debates. Politicians worldwide invoke your legacy rhetorically, warnings about democracy's fragility, ambition's consequences, betrayal dangers inherent political systems worldwide. Caesar's legacy remains powerful rhetorical tool, cautionary symbol politically globally today. Socially, your legacy profoundly influences contemporary concepts about ambition, success, leadership. Modern business, political, military leaders invoke Caesar symbolically, warnings about ambition's consequences, emphasizing responsible leadership, emotional intelligence importance. Caesar's example illustrates vividly ambition's destructive potential, reinforcing globally critical responsibilities leaders carry maintaining compassion, morality, responsible governance practices. Ultimately, Julius Caesar, your legacy profoundly impacts global cultures, languages, politics, philosophies, arts, educational practices, societal values. Your assassination, ironically intended extinguishing your power, instead immortalized your legend eternally. Caesar's legacy endures vividly, profoundly, influencing humanity continuously for millennia, shaping global understandings about ambition, leadership, democracy's vulnerabilities, authoritarianism's inherent dangers, humanity's potential greatness, cruelty simultaneously. Your eternal influence vividly illustrates humanity's profound complexities, ambition, betrayal, loneliness, emotional vulnerabilities underlying political power. Caesar's legacy remains powerful cautionary tale historically, culturally, psychologically, politically, symbolizing vividly humanity's responsibilities, maintaining democracy, protecting freedoms, valuing morality above ambition, compassion above ego, humility above pride, maintaining eternally vigilant against ambition's inherent dangers historically. Your extraordinary life profoundly shaped global history, influencing humanity eternally, culturally, politically, educationally, psychologically. Julius Caesar, your legacy endures vividly, profoundly, timelessly, symbolizing eternally humanity's critical responsibilities, maintaining democracy, protecting freedoms, valuing morality above ambition, preserving eternally compassionate, responsible societies historically. This was your extraordinary eternal legacy, profound cultural impacts continuously shaping global humanity as Julius Caesar. Your life is one of history's greatest examples of how immense ambition, charisma, intelligence, and strategic brilliance can intertwine with profound inner struggles, loneliness, insecurity, paranoia, and a relentless hunger for validation. Your psychology, deeply complex and endlessly studied, reveals the profound inner dynamics driving some of history's greatest triumphs and most tragic failures. From childhood, your psychological landscape was shaped by intense pressure, high expectations, and early experiences of instability. Born into a noble yet financially struggling family, your earliest lessons taught you that mere nobility wasn't enough. The world demanded power, wealth, influence, ambitions your family couldn't fully support financially, driving you relentlessly toward personal achievement. Your father's early death intensified this pressure dramatically, forcing you prematurely into leadership roles, imprinting lifelong drives for validation, respect, and success. Your early encounters with political violence further shaped your psychological development profoundly. Witnessing Rome's brutal political conflicts firsthand, Sulla's dictatorship, your uncle Marius's defeat, your own near-death experiences, impressed upon you harsh realities of ambition's dangerous consequences, instilling lifelong suspicion, vigilance, even paranoia. These traumatic experiences deeply impacted your inner world, reinforcing relentlessly cautious approaches toward relationships, politics, power dynamics throughout life. Yet your relentless ambition, perhaps your most defining psychological trait, emerged vividly from early insecurities. Deeply aware of your family's precarious financial and social standing, ambition became psychological compensation, a relentless drive toward achievement, power, respect intended, filling emotional voids created by early rejection, instability. Your ambition, while politically and militarily effective, masked deeper psychological vulnerabilities, loneliness, insecurity, desperate needs for admiration, validation, fueling relentless personal and political conquests. Your renowned charisma was simultaneously genuine and calculated. Gifted naturally with extraordinary intelligence, eloquence, emotional intelligence, your charisma wasn't merely superficial charm, it represented profound psychological understanding of human desires, vulnerabilities, motivations. Your charismatic persona allowed skillful manipulation of political allies, soldiers, citizens, even enemies, enabling remarkable leadership achievements. Yet your charisma also masked profound emotional isolation, maintaining carefully constructed public persona hiding deeper insecurities, vulnerabilities, loneliness lurking beneath political bravado. Your tendency toward risk-taking, illustrated repeatedly throughout life, boldly defying Sulla, confronting pirates fearlessly, crossing Rubicon decisively, was both psychological strength and dangerous vulnerability. Psychologists describe this as calculated impulsivity, intelligent risk-taking driven by ambition, confidence, desire for validation, yet dangerously ignoring potential consequences. This psychological trait enabled extraordinary military, political triumphs, yet ultimately contributed decisively toward tragic assassination, illustrating vividly ambition's psychological complexities, strength intertwined dangerously with vulnerability. Paranoia increasingly defined your psychological state as power grew. Initially justified real assassination attempts, constant political conspiracies, betrayals experienced repeatedly, your paranoia intensified dangerously, profoundly impacting leadership effectiveness. Friends, allies became suspected enemies, trusted relationships deteriorated, loneliness intensified dramatically. Your paranoia, exacerbated profoundly by isolation inherent in absolute power, ultimately compromised psychological clarity, decision-making effectiveness, contributing decisively toward tragic assassination events. Your relationships, both personal and political, further illustrate profound psychological complexities beneath political legend. Your marriages, initially driven by genuine affection, yet increasingly defined by political necessity, illustrate vividly internal tensions between genuine emotional desires, relentless ambition driving ruthless personal decisions. Your relationship with Cleopatra, simultaneously genuine affection, calculated political alliance, illustrates vividly inner struggles, balancing ambition, emotional desires, political necessity, reflecting profound psychological complexities characterizing Caesar's personal life. Your assassination symbolically revealed profound psychological vulnerabilities beneath outward strength. Your famous last words, "Et tu, Brute?" dramatically captured emotional devastation. Betrayal inflicted psychologically trusted friends, betraying profoundly shattered inner emotional world. Your assassination wasn't merely physical destruction, it represented profound psychological tragedy, illustrating vividly ambition's destructive potential, inner loneliness, insecurities, masked behind charismatic, powerful political persona. Historically, your psychological complexities profoundly influence global understandings about ambition, leadership psychology. Historians, psychologists, philosophers continuously analyze your inner struggles, offering critical insights into authoritarian leaders' psychological traits, charisma masking insecurity, ambition intertwined dangerously with loneliness, paranoia destroying emotional intimacy, relationships. Your example profoundly influences global education, illustrating vividly importance, emotional intelligence, psychological awareness, compassionate leadership historically, societally. Modern psychological research frequently references your life, offering profound insights into leadership psychology globally. Your inner struggles, ambitions, destructive potential, loneliness, inherent authoritarian leadership offer critical lessons psychologically globally, importance balancing ambition, morality, emotional intelligence, compassionate leadership historically, societally. Your psychological insights profoundly influence global leadership education, emphasizing critical responsibilities leaders carry, maintaining emotional health, morality, compassion, humility, above ambition, pride, ego. Ultimately, Julius Caesar, your psychological complexities, ambition intertwined dangerously with loneliness, charisma masking profound insecurities, paranoia destroying emotional intimacy, provide profound global insights psychologically, historically, societally. Your inner struggles illustrate vividly dangers, ambition unchecked, importance balancing ambition with morality, emotional intelligence, compassionate leadership globally. Your psychological legacy profoundly influences global understandings about leadership psychology, emphasizing critical responsibilities leaders carry, maintaining psychological health, morality, compassion historically, societally. Your extraordinary psychological insights profoundly shaped global understandings about leadership psychology historically, societally, illustrating vividly dangers, ambition unchecked, importance balancing ambition with morality, emotional intelligence, compassionate leadership globally. Julius Caesar, your profound psychological complexities remain critically influential historically, societally, offering timeless lessons psychologically, politically, historically, globally. This was your profound psychological legacy, inner struggles vividly illustrating ambition's dangers, importance compassionate leadership historically, societally as Julius Caesar. Your life, Julius Caesar, extends far beyond the historical borders of ancient Rome, resonating deeply and urgently into the modern world. Today, more than ever, your story serves as a powerful warning, a timeless lesson in the complexities of ambition, leadership, democracy, and the dangers lurking within unchecked power. From political discourse and military strategy to education, culture, and leadership psychology, your experiences and choices remain strikingly relevant. In contemporary politics, your example is frequently cited as a cautionary tale regarding the fragility of democracy. Modern democracies continually face threats from ambitious leaders who exploit political divisions, populism, and public dissatisfaction to amass unchecked power, just as you once did in Rome. Politicians, historians, and educators around the world reference your rise and fall to emphasize the critical importance of democratic institutions, transparency, and accountability to prevent authoritarianism. Leaders today regularly invoke your story, both positively and negatively, to illustrate their points about governance. Some use your name as synonymous with strong, decisive leadership, others cite you as the ultimate example of power corrupting, a warning of ambition's destructive potential. Your legacy thus provides a rich narrative for contemporary debates about responsible leadership, ethics and governance, and the careful balancing of authority and accountability. Your assassination particularly serves as an enduring lesson on the consequences of political violence and division. Modern political rhetoric frequently references the Ides of March and your betrayal to caution against escalating polarization and the dangers of political conflict. Your death vividly illustrates how deep-seated resentment, fear, and distrust within political systems can erupt into violence, destabilizing societies and triggering catastrophic consequences. In military strategy and leadership, your experiences remain profoundly influential. Military academies worldwide study your tactical brilliance, particularly your swift campaigns in Gaul, your strategic daring at the Rubicon, and decisive victories like Pharsalus and Alesia. Your commentaries on the Gallic War continue to be essential reading, influencing modern military doctrine, logistics planning, and strategic thinking, emphasizing clarity, decisiveness, adaptability, and the critical importance of morale and leadership integrity. In the realm of psychology and leadership studies, your life provides a textbook example of both charismatic leadership and dangerous narcissism. Psychologists frequently analyze your ability to inspire loyalty, mobilize supporters, and command authority, while also highlighting your vulnerabilities, intense ambition, masking deep insecurity, paranoia disrupting trusted relationships, and loneliness underlying your powerful public persona. Modern leadership training draws heavily from your example, emphasizing the crucial importance of emotional intelligence, compassion, psychological awareness, and responsible governance practices. Educational institutions globally use your story to teach critical thinking, historical understanding, and civic responsibility. Students studying your life are encouraged to question the nature of power, ambition, and morality, engaging with complex ethical dilemmas like balancing personal ambition with public responsibility or understanding the consequences of decisions driven purely by political expediency. Your assassination serves as a vivid reminder to students worldwide about democracy's vulnerabilities, emphasizing the active role citizens must play in maintaining democratic systems, fostering tolerance, dialogue, and peaceful conflict resolution. In contemporary culture and media, your legacy endures vividly. Popular films, television shows, historical novels, and theater productions continuously reimagine your dramatic life, making your story accessible to modern audiences. This constant cultural presence keeps your lessons alive, resonating deeply with new generations who see your ambitions and struggles mirrored in contemporary political dramas, power struggles, and leadership crises worldwide. Your legacy also influences modern discussions around misinformation and propaganda, two tools you expertly wielded to secure and maintain power. Today, as societies grapple with the proliferation of misinformation through digital media, your example serves as a stark warning of propaganda's potential to manipulate public opinion, distort reality, and undermine democratic systems. Media literacy education worldwide uses your historical example to emphasize critical thinking, skepticism, and awareness of propaganda tactics, helping protect societies from modern misinformation threats. Modern ethical debates about war, conquest, and colonization frequently reference your brutal conquest of Gaul and its devastating human costs. Historians and ethicists invoke your actions to critically examine the morality of imperial expansion, military violence, and human rights abuses, drawing direct parallels between ancient conquests and contemporary conflicts worldwide. Your legacy thus contributes significantly to global conversations about moral responsibilities during warfare, human dignity, and the lasting impacts of military aggression on conquered populations. Even contemporary business leadership and corporate ethics draw lessons from your life. Business schools worldwide study your leadership style to emphasize the critical balance between ambition, vision, ethics, and emotional intelligence in corporate leadership. Your successes illustrate the potential rewards of decisiveness, strategic thinking, and charisma, while your ultimate downfall underscores the importance of humility, transparency, ethical leadership, and emotional intelligence in maintaining sustainable success and fostering healthy organizational cultures. Ultimately, Julius Caesar, your enduring relevance in modern times, vividly illustrates humanity's timeless struggles with ambition, power, democracy, leadership responsibility, and morality. Your extraordinary life, with all its triumphs and tragedies, serves as a profound cautionary example, emphasizing the critical importance of safeguarding democratic institutions, responsible leadership, compassion, and ethical governance in contemporary societies. Today's world, grappling with rapid change, political division, misinformation, and complex global challenges, continues to find profound lessons in your story. Your enduring legacy reminds us vividly of democracy's fragility, the necessity of humility and leadership, the destructive potential of unchecked ambition, and humanity's eternal responsibility to value morality, compassion, and democratic freedoms above power and personal gain. Your life remains profoundly relevant, continuously guiding contemporary societies worldwide, emphasizing timeless lessons about leadership, democracy, ambition, and humanity itself. This is your enduring relevance in the modern world, a vivid, powerful reminder of humanity's eternal struggles with ambition, democracy, power, and responsibility, drawn directly from your extraordinary life as Julius Caesar. Reflecting on your extraordinary life, marked by unmatched ambition, relentless pursuit of power, remarkable achievements, and devastating tragedy, reveals profound lessons for all generations. Your legacy transcends the boundaries of history, resonating deeply into eternity as a timeless message about ambition's complexities, the fragility of democracy, responsible leadership, and humanity's eternal struggles with power and morality. At the heart of your life lies ambition, your greatest strength and most destructive vulnerability. From early childhood, driven by family expectations and personal insecurities, ambition pushed you toward greatness, driving you to conquer Gaul, seize Rome, and reshape history dramatically. Yet that same ambition blinded you to the emotional costs, isolating you from true friendships, meaningful relationships, and genuine happiness. Your life vividly illustrates ambition's dual nature, how it inspires extraordinary accomplishments while simultaneously carrying enormous emotional and moral costs. Your ambition, unchecked by humility or compassion, ultimately led to your tragic downfall. The assassination you suffered wasn't merely a political act, it was a profound moral judgment on the consequences of absolute power. Betrayed by those you trusted deeply, your death symbolized vividly ambition's ultimate cost: personal destruction, shattered relationships, profound emotional devastation. History remembers your assassination clearly, warning eternally of the dangers when ambition eclipses morality, humanity, and emotional intelligence. Politically, your life and death illustrate democracy's inherent fragility. The Roman Republic, despite its wealth and power, collapsed rapidly under your influence, demonstrating vividly how vulnerable democratic systems remain when faced with charismatic leaders exploiting divisions, populism, and personal ambition. Your legacy emphasizes vividly the eternal responsibility citizens carry maintaining democratic values, vigilance, compassion, dialogue, and transparency against authoritarian threats. Democracy's preservation demands constant effort, civic engagement, moral integrity, a timeless message drawn directly from your dramatic life. Psychologically, your story reveals profound insights about leadership, charisma, loneliness, and emotional vulnerability beneath political power. Your charisma, while powerful, masked profound insecurities, emotional isolation, and inner loneliness. The emotional price leaders often pay for ambition and authority. Modern leadership psychology continuously studies your example, emphasizing the critical importance of emotional intelligence, compassion, psychological awareness, humility, and effective leadership, drawn directly from your tragic personal struggles. Culturally, your legacy profoundly shapes global narratives about power, betrayal, leadership, and morality. Shakespeare's Julius Caesar, art, literature, films continuously explore your life, dramatically, vividly illustrating ambition's consequences, betrayal's emotional devastation, democracy's fragility. Your eternal cultural presence underscores humanity's endless fascination with power's complexities, ambition's psychological dynamics, and historical lessons humanity must continuously learn to avoid repeating past tragedies. Educationally, your life remains profoundly relevant worldwide, emphasizing critical lessons about responsible governance, civic engagement, moral integrity, democratic responsibilities. Your example teaches students vividly the importance of balancing personal ambition with compassion, humility, ethical leadership, civic responsibility, protecting democracy's freedoms. Your legacy profoundly shapes global education, emphasizing timeless lessons humanity must continuously learn, guarding eternally against ambition's destructive potential historically. Socially and politically, your legacy profoundly influences global governance practices, emphasizing critical responsibilities leaders carry: maintaining morality, emotional intelligence, transparency, accountability, compassion. Historically, your life illustrates vividly dangers unchecked power poses societally, historically, psychologically, reinforcing globally the critical importance of democratic institutions, civic responsibilities, responsible governance protecting freedoms, morality above ambition, compassion above ego. Historically. Ultimately, Julius Caesar, your extraordinary life delivers profound timeless messages vividly relevant eternally for humanity itself. Your legacy symbolizes vividly humanity's eternal struggles, balancing ambition, morality, compassion, democracy's vulnerabilities, responsibilities, maintaining freedoms. Historically. Your life, filled with immense triumphs, devastating tragedies, emotional complexities, offers powerful global reminders eternally relevant historically, societally, psychologically, politically, globally, today. Your timeless message emphasizes vividly ambition's dual nature, capable of extraordinary achievements, yet profoundly destructive, unchecked by morality, humility, compassion. Your life illustrates vividly democracy's fragility, eternally vulnerable when leaders exploit divisions, populism, ambitions unchecked morally. Your personal struggles emphasize vividly psychological importance. Leaders must maintain emotional intelligence, compassion, psychological awareness, humility, essential, effective, responsible leadership, historically, societally, globally, today. Caesar's eternal relevance vividly symbolizes humanity's critical responsibilities, maintaining democratic institutions, safeguarding freedoms, valuing morality above ambition, compassion above ego, humility above pride, historically, societally, globally today. Your life profoundly shapes global education, cultural narratives, political philosophies, psychological understandings about leadership eternally, emphasizing vividly humanity's eternal responsibilities, maintaining morality, compassion, responsible governance, historically, societally, globally today. Your extraordinary legacy remains eternally relevant historically, societally, globally, powerful reminder humanity's eternal responsibilities, maintaining democracy, safeguarding freedoms, balancing ambition with morality, compassion, historically, globally today. Julius Caesar, your life eternally delivers powerful messages vividly relevant historically, societally, globally today, offering profound lessons humanity must eternally learn historically. This was your extraordinary timeless message, profoundly illustrating ambition's complexities, democracy's vulnerabilities, leadership's responsibilities, humanity's eternal struggles, balancing power, morality, compassion, historically, societally, globally, eternally, as Julius Caesar.